Unbeaten Legends, the greatest Ryder Cup performances ever recorded, by Ryder Cup Digital. September 25, 2025, 11:20 UTC. The Ryder Cup's unique head-to-head format is what captivates millions, drawing in not only die-hard golf enthusiasts, but also casual sports fans. The sheer unpredictability of this intense competition creates unforgettable moments of drama and excitement that few other sporting events can match. What truly sets the Ryder Cup apart is its electric atmosphere, unlike any other in golf, where individual players come together to form a team, adding a thrilling dynamic to a sport that is usually a solitary pursuit. Yet, despite the collective effort, it often comes down to the extraordinary performance of a single player to tip the scales and lead their team to victory. The competition's structure is straightforward. It features foursomes, four balls, and singles matches. However, managing to excel across these formats over just 3 days is a monumental challenge. This is why achieving an undefeated record in the Ryder Cup is an exceptionally rare feat. In the entire history of the event, only 5 players have managed to win all 5 matches they played, finishing with a perfect 5-0-0 record: wins, losses, ties. Let's dive into the stories of these remarkable players and the moments when they etched their names into Ryder Cup history. Arnold Palmer, 1967. In his 4th Ryder Cup appearance, the legendary Arnold Palmer, already a 7-time major champion by then, became the first player ever to win all 5 matches he participated in. Partnering with Gardner Dickinson, who would also achieve the same feat in that very event, Palmer helped the United States establish a commanding lead at a Champions Golf Club in Houston, Texas. The duo dominated the opening day's foursomes, first defeating Peter Alliss and Christy O'Connor Sr. 2-1, then overpowering Malcolm Gregson and Hugh Boyle 5-4, contributing to a strong 5.5 to 2.5 lead for the U.S. After sitting out the morning 4-balls session, Palmer teamed up with Julius Boros to secure a narrow 1-up victory against George Will and Boyle. With the U.S. holding a comfortable 10-point advantage going into the final day, Palmer continued his winning streak by beating Tony Jacklin 3-2 in the singles, and then leading off the afternoon session with a commanding 5-3 win over Brian Huggett. Gardner Dickinson, 1967, making his Ryder Cup debut at the age of 40, the oldest rookie on either team that year. Gardner Dickinson matched Palmer's perfect record. His confidence soared after 2 foursomes wins alongside Palmer on day 1. In the 4-balls, Dickinson paired with fellow rookie Doug Sanders, and the duo triumphed over Brian Huggett and George Will 3-2 in the morning, then repeated the feat against Peter Alliss and Malcolm Gregson later that day. Skipping the morning singles session, Dickinson returned to the course to defeat Tony Jacklin 3-2, sealing his flawless 5-0 record and proving that age and experience aren't the only keys to Ryder Cup success. Larry Nelson, 1979. The 1979 Ryder Cup was a landmark event, marking the first time players from continental Europe joined the competition, transforming the opposition from Great Britain and Ireland to a united Team Europe. Larry Nelson, one of 8 rookies on the U.S. squad led by Billy Casper, made a significant impact at the Greenbrier. Nelson teamed up with Lanny Wadkins to secure a 2-1 victory over Spain's Antonio Garrido and Seve Ballesteros in the opening 4-ball session. They continued their winning partnership in the afternoon foursomes, defeating Bernard Gallagher and Brian Barnes 4-3. Their dominance persisted on day 2, as they bested Ballesteros and Garrido twice more, with the overall score tight and just 1 point separating the teams before the singles. Nelson was sent out first alongside Wadkins. Nelson clinched his 5th and final point by beating Ballesteros 3-2, showcasing his clutch performance under pressure. Note, from 1963 to 1971, the Ryder Cup format included 6 sessions, 2 each of foursomes and 4 balls over the first 2 days, followed by 2 singles sessions featuring 8 players from each side on the final day. Francesco Molinari, 2018. It took nearly 4 decades for a European player to achieve a perfect 5-0-0 record, and it happened at Le Golf National in Paris. Francesco Molinari, in his third Ryder Cup appearance, made history by sweeping all his matches in France. Molinari formed a formidable partnership with Tommy Fleetwood, affectionately nicknamed Mollywood. Together, they defeated the American duo of Patrick Reed and Tiger Woods in the fourballs, then outplayed Justin Thomas and Jordan Spieth in the foursomes, marking Europe's first ever clean sweep in that format at the Ryder Cup. Their winning streak continued with another fourballs victory over Reed and Woods, followed by a triumph against Woods and Bryson DeChambeau. While Fleetwood fell short of a perfect week in the singles, Molinari sealed his flawless record with a commanding 4-2 win over Phil Mickelson, securing a crucial point for Europe. Dustin Johnson, 2021, at Whistling Straits, the United States delivered a resounding 19-9 victory, the largest winning margin since 1967. Central to this dominant performance was Dustin Johnson, then ranked world number 2. Johnson kicked off his week with a foursomes win alongside Collin Morikawa against Paul Casey and Viktor Hovland. He then paired with Xander Schauffele in the fourballs to defeat Casey and Bernd Wiesberger. Johnson and Morikawa reunited to beat Casey and Tyrrell Hatton in the afternoon foursomes, and Johnson's singles match against Ian Poulter and Rory McIlroy's team was a 4-3 victory, propelling the U.S. toward a comprehensive win. He capped off his perfect week with a one-up singles victory over Paul Casey, underscoring his vital role in the U.S. triumph. But here's where it gets controversial. Is the emphasis on individual undefeated records overshadowing the true spirit of the Ryder Cup as a team event? Some argue that while these perfect records are impressive, the Ryder Cup's magic lies in the collective effort and camaraderie. What do you think? Does focusing on individual glory diminish the team aspect, or does it highlight the extraordinary talent that can inspire a whole team? And this is the part most people miss. The Ryder Cup format has evolved over the years, affecting how players approach their matches. For example, the shift in 1981 to a single-session singles day, with all 12 players competing simultaneously, changed the dynamic significantly. How might these format changes influence the likelihood of players going undefeated? We'd love to hear your thoughts. Do you agree with celebrating these individual achievements, or do you believe the Ryder Cup is ultimately about the team? Share your opinions and join the conversation below.